નમસ્કાર દર્શક મિત્રો, હું છું તન્હાવીર અને આજે આપણી સાથે જે ખાસ મહેમાન વિશેષ વ્યક્તિ જે મુલાકાત માટે આવ્યા છે એમનું નામ છે પીટર કુક. પીટર કુક જે છે ડેપ્યુટી હાઈ કમિશન ઓફ યુકે છે અને હાલ એ અમદાવાદ સિટીમાં સ્થિત છે. So today I have a few questions for you.
Please.
Yeah. So first question which I want to ask you, how do you see India and UK relations under the Rishi Sunak government?
I'm very optimistic. I'm very positive. I think this is a really important moment for UK-India relationships. We have a new partnership. The last Prime Minister, Mr. Boris Johnson, came to Gujarat. He had wonderful conversations with the Indian Prime Minister Modi, and we have agreed to work more closely together. We all know the world is going to be a more challenging place in the future. And so we need partnerships, we need to collaborate, to work together to solve some of these problems. And so we had a new agreement to try and build on some of the old areas of strength where we work together so well. And I think we want to build on that. So I am very optimistic, I'm very positive. I think it is going to lead to many good things.
So, okay, next question is, Mr. Peter, as you know that Miss Suella is something looking like that they are critic about India. Though all around the world they are talking that the Rishi Sunak is Indian origin, but although Suella is also in the Rishi Sunak's cabinet, so how do you see that?
Well, I think there was a lot of controversy about some of the remarks that she made at the Conservative Party conference. Those, I think, were remarks, they were made in a party context. I think the government clarified that that was not necessarily the government policy. But what it does, I think, signal is that the UK is very determined to change its approach to visa policy, to change its approach to how it wants to engage with the rest of the world. And I think we have a much more progressive, a much more positive opportunity to get this right. And so we are looking now to construct a new approach to visa policy that is going to be quite progressive. We are looking to find the right kind of people to come to the UK. And so we are wanting to find more entrepreneurs. We have innovator visas, we have entrepreneur visas, we have business visas. We want to create a good process for students to come. This was a record year for Indian students going to the UK. I think we want to build on this. So I think her remarks are a little, need to be taken in a bigger context of what is actually happening. And the changes that are happening are actually positive for India, positive for our relationship. So we need to see it in that context. UK is very clear, it wants to have the right kind of migration, not the wrong kind of migration. We need the overall.
Yes, yes. As Ms. Suella is something about critic about Indian immigration in UK. So what do you think now in Rishi Sunak government, how immigration policy is going forward?
Going to change? Well, I think you're quite right that the comments, I think, were interpreted as being critical. What I think, it's hard for me to give an explanation for this, but I think what we want to illustrate is the right kind of immigration is good. We want to bring more business, we want to bring more scientists, we want to bring more students. That is the right kind of immigration. The wrong kind of immigration creates the problems of having unskilled labour, of having people who are coming to the UK looking for extra support from the government, looking for the free systems that we offer. So this is really a conversation about the right kind of migration. I think what the Rishi Sunak government, and indeed he was speaking in Parliament just on Wednesday, just yesterday, to look at how we can improve, how we can strengthen even further, to get asylum policy examined more carefully, more closely. We want to support the right kind of migration, not the wrong kind. And I think that's what the Home Secretary Suella Braverman was trying to point out. The wrong kind is not a good thing for us. The right kind is something we are very positive for.
As we see that in Mr. Johnson's government, the FTA, Free Trade Agreement policy is under the way, but under Liz Truss, the FTA is on pause. But now Rishi Sunak is Prime Minister of UK. So what do you think about FTA policy with India and UK relationships?
Well, thank you. And the Free Trade Agreement is a really important step for both countries. We want this to be a good deal, we want it to be a comprehensive deal. But again, it has to be the right deal. We are in the final stages of this. We are very close to an agreement. The last parts of the agreement are always the toughest parts to negotiate. It is going to take a little bit longer to finalize these parts. And of course, the Indian negotiators are tough, and the UK negotiators are tough. And so I think we are at a stage that very soon it will come down to the political agreement. And the politicians will need to decide, okay, how are we going to fix this? What is the final solution? But we are close. We have a big agreement. It is almost finished. It will be a really important benefit for both countries. I think the reason it is taking a bit longer is because both sides want to get it right. We want to get the right deal. A bad deal is the wrong deal, and the bad deal is not what we want. So we will work hard to finish soon. I hope there will be some good news in the very near future. But we are, and so we are close, but it needs to be the right deal for both countries. We want this to be win for India and win for UK.
Mr. S. Jaishankar, who is our foreign minister, is very hard about the European Union. As we see his previous interviews, he told that the Europe's problem is not our problem, and our problem is not Europe's problem. So what do you say about that?
Well, I think he's absolutely right. I think no one will be surprised that India is now in a position where it can be a much stronger voice on world affairs. And I think part of the background to UK wanting to build a better relationship with India is we recognize that India is a growing power. It is going to become a much more significant player on the world stage. We want a strong India. We want an India that is a really effective player in international politics. It is a democratic country. It is a country based on values that we understand and we share. We want, I think, to see more of the responsible leadership from countries like India around the world. That is why UK wants to make India such an important partner for the future. So I am not surprised that Mr. Jaishankar is taking this view. We respect his view. We will not always agree. That is always the problem in international politics. But we want to understand that the only way we solve our problems is through dialogue, through partnership, through collaboration. That is what we want from India. That is what we hope we can build. I'm sure India will respect that as a good position for them also.
So, thank you, Mr. Peter Cook, for giving the interview to us.
Well,
and we wish that in future, India and UK government will work together, and which makes a win-win situation for both countries.
Absolutely.
And we grow together and we develop together. Thank you. દર્શક મિત્રો, આ હતા પીટર કુક, જે અહેમદાબાદ ડેપ્યુટી હાઈ કમિશન છે યુકેના, અને એમની જોડે આજે આપણે વાત કરી. થેન્ક યુ. નમસ્તે.